Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Since I was born in the great country of Romania, I keep some connections open, and I also follow certain kind of news over there. And this piece of news comes from the Jerusalem Post, actually, and will tell us about certain kind of ways Romanians are scheming others, okay? And it's about doctors. That's why I wear this white shirt, so in solidarity with the profession. So let's see. That's not a good article for Romania or for the doctors, just so you know. The problem is we don't have names. So the Jerusalem Post, and this is from February 18th, 2023. I was sitting on it. I was waiting for the right timing. Romania investigates doctors suspected of reusing implants from dead patients. Dead patients, okay? Many of the patients did not need the implant and were given fake or fake diagnosis and medication to stimulate a heart problem. Criminals or what? Now, when I tell you that, I'm not saying, oh, this is widespread over there, but the way they do it, when I tell you sometimes that I kind of know the mentality of how those weapons are distributed to Ukraine and further, I kind of know. The Americans go with their inspectors and the ways to, I heard that they have special ways to figure out where their weapons are distributed or are deployed on the front. Believe me, the Ukrainians are like light years ahead of the Americans' sneakiness in doing this kind of bullshit. But no, everything is fair. Those are, Ukrainians are, love democracy, and there's no corruption and now nothing like that. When you pour billions of dollars worth of equipment and money in that country, what do you expect? Now, these guys are doctors in Romania. They make a lot of money and they still want to make more money. Imagine with those guys when you have a Zaluzny in charge of billions of dollars. Zaluzny being the commander-in-chief of Ukrainian army. Do you think he's just going to be, okay, man, nothing in my pockets, we're good to go? Yeah, okay, let's go with the Romanians though. So Romanian prosecutors said on Saturday that they have opened a criminal investigation into 5 doctors suspected of reusing hundreds of medical implants extracted from dead patients. So the patients died and then they extracted the implants and put it back to someone else that they gave fake diagnosis and used medication to simulate a heart problem. What makes you think that happens only in Romania? Yeah, when you have a next doctor appointment, my friends? Yep, yeah, all right. One of the 5 doctors who was working at the hospital in the eastern Romanian city of Iași. Iași is in northeast where Ukraine is, Moldova, Ukraine, that area, has been taken into custody pending the investigation on charges of abuse of power and bribe taking. He's a doctor, okay? Prosecutors said in a statement. I come from there, I kind of know what's going on, my friends. They said the unnamed doctor, well, we know when Andrew Tate was taken into custody and his brother, right? And everything was over there. Unnamed doctor. I kind of know why we don't know the name of the doctor, but I can't say it because we are in America, the land of the free speech. But if you say the wrong name or the wrong thing, then no more free speech for you. No soup for you. Remember Seinfeld? Yeah, no soup for you, no more free speech for you. So unnamed doctor, okay, oversaw a network of 4 other physicians who provided him with cardiac implants extracted from deceased patients without prior approval from them or their families. The surgeries, all right, let's see the surgeries. Prosecutors allege the doctor performed 238 surgeries over 7 years from 2017, illegally using implants extracted from the dead patients or of unknown provenience, and putting his patients at risk of serious complications of death. How did this guy sleep at night? Well, I think it's hard the first 10 times, and then I guess they get used to it. That's usually what happens with the criminals. And I'm quoting now, a large part of the implants recommended by the doctor were not necessary and were prompted by fake diagnosis or by previously prescribed medication that would trigger specific symptoms. End quote, the statement said. Romania's healthcare system, one of the least developed within the European Union, has been dodged by corruption, inefficiencies, and politicized management. The state has built one hospital in the last 3 decades, 3 fucking decades, spans the least of healthcare in the EU, and tens of thousands of doctors and nurses have immigrated. I know about 5 of them, okay? Not about, but anyway. So did you hear how many hospitals that civilized country of Romania built in 30 years after they Ceausescu? Huh? Did you see? One. No wonder the intelligentsia leaves that country. It's just outrageous. But nothing changed. And it's a European country, part of NATO, the European Union, all that. So that's why Ukraine will have good company when they will be accepted into the European family. Do you think the Ukraine is better? It's 10 times worse. How do I know that? I have friends. I have friends in Romania, and sometimes and they told me about the Ukrainian mafia in Romania, how much money they have, what they buy, and it's Ukraine, but here these are Romanians. And you have millionaires over there in dollars. They didn't build a hospital, one hospital. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with Ceausescu, the dictator that was shot on the Christmas day from the orders of Christians. All right, and he had a son, and his son, he had more than one, but this particular one was called Nicu. It's a diminutive of Nikolai. And Nicu was supposed to be his heir, supposedly. And anyway, he was caught, and he was, after that revolution, he was stabbed, he was whatever, and he died of cirrhosis, liver, and so on. And before he died, he told this, the new democratic forces, that came to power, freedom, democracy. Remember Iraq? The same thing, freedom, democracy. We're free and democratic and love, and America, come and help us, everybody. It was pathetic. I lived through that. I know how it was. Anyway, so he said, guys, Ceausescu, Nicu, his son, he was 46 or something. He said, he died 48 or something like this. He said, guys, you are worthless. He said, the new political class, the leaders. He said, you would not even be able to paint what my father built. That's what he said. Because he knew you are worthless. You will not even be, because during Ceausescu's times, a lot of apartment buildings, it was a big construction, and a lot of people had a lot of good things, but then everything went down. What can I say? But in reality, he built schools, new kindergarten, new buildings, new roads, new hydroelectric power plants. He did a lot of good things. He did some bad things too, but a lot of good things. And as this guy said, Nicu, you guys are so worthless, you would not even be able, in 30 years, I think he said 30 years, to even paint what this guy built. And that's true. That is true. So here you have these guys, the doctors. Now, if it's that level, I don't know what kind of human being can you be to do that. I think a regular one, because I think they're not. It's just that power corrupts, and these guys were unaccountable. They were unaccountable, and they just released their animal from within. One of the reasons why we don't act like animals is because we're afraid of punishments. And that is the law, and not only the law, because every country has laws. The issue is if that law is implemented, enforced. If it's enforced, if it's not enforced, each and every country has laws. The problem is enforce them. Now, how do you enforce them? You have to build a certain culture. You have to create a certain kind of people that would be hired in that position. Bribery, the culture. Anyway, my friends, I'm how many, 200 and some victims over there in 7 years. Anyway, I hope they get punishment. But the problem is, why did I find this in the Jerusalem Post? That's where I found it. I don't know if it came in other ones or not. Jerusalem Post, and the doctor is unnamed. But Andrew Tate's name, the night he was arrested, bang, right there. I mean, if there's confidentiality or it's no confidentiality, why? It's like here in America, when a crime occurs, if they don't tell you any specific about the alleged the suspect, you kind of know who that was. I mean, at least to pinpoint that person. And if that suspect is a certain kind, you see his face the first day. Oh, that's the guy. Oh, okay. But then not. Oh, it's just a male, young male, and that's it. The suspect. Okay. And then you kind of know. So the same here. Why don't they give me the names? Is that a politically incorrect name? I don't know. I don't want to assume, but it's very strange. You gave Andrew Tate, but you don't give a weasel from a hospital. And don't give me the confidentiality, because it should be applied on both sides, which is not. So I'm just assuming that some people try to... Bad boys. I'm assuming they were boys, okay? Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.